We're here with the skipper of the Boise Hawks, Gary Vantold, this afternoon. He's down in Mesa, Arizona. First thing, Skip, I got to tell you, what's it like working out at the new digs down there? Brand new facilities that the Cubs built during the off season. It's got to be a lot different than being over at Fitch Park.
Well, yeah, it is. It's awesome. I mean, they did an outstanding job with the new facility, and it's top notch. And I know the guys that are here feel like they're a part of a big league organization, and an organization that's very serious about development, and it's all part of the plan, and just an honor to be a part of it, and it's really exciting for everybody.
And I know you've got to be excited seeing the guys that you had a year ago make their way up, whether it be to Daytona, to King County, Chris Bryant raking up at Tennessee, but really looking at the nucleus of your club a year ago that was a game away from winning the Northwest League title, and they've got the best record in the Midwest League right now, and MJ really has those boys playing well.
Yeah, it's great to see, and that's all part of it, and being in Boise and starting these kids out in their professional career, just taking care of the piece of puzzle that I'm holding and doing everything that we can to get these guys ready for the next level. And everybody in the organization follows every team that's playing, obviously from the big league team down all the way to our teams in Dominican and Venezuela, and getting reports and scores and reading how guys are doing. And for obvious reasons, I pay a lot of attention to MJ's roster in Kane County, because basically that was our team last year in Boise, and to see those guys playing the way they are and taking that next step makes me very proud. And it was a special group last year, and it's nice to see.
Gary Vantold joining us from down at the Cubs training facility down in Mesa, Arizona today, and talk about how things are going down in extended. I know you've got a huge group of talent down there that'll, in the next week or two, be split up into a group that's going to play in the Arizona League and a group that's going to make the trip up here to Boise. I know those guys are just itching for a chance to get on that airplane and come back up here and play in front of some fans.
Yeah, things are winding down here, and guys are chomping at the bit to find out, where they're going next and what the next step is. And so there's still a lot of decisions to be made. Of course, the draft's a little bit earlier this year, June 5th, 6th, and 7th. The team leaves from Mesa, will arrive in Boise on the 10th. And so there could be some last-minute adjustments to the roster, but, we're used to that, and whoever's on that plane on the 10th, I'll check their names off and get them prepared for what to expect when we arrive in Boise in the start of the season. But the guys that are here that have been grinding it out all through extended spring training, it was 107 degrees today, and they're working hard. There's some good young talent down here that everybody's excited about, and with the draft coming up too, we've got the 4th pick overall, and I know there's a lot of talk about that. So we'll see what happens there. But another aspect of short season baseball in the Northwest League, where you just take it one day at a time, and the roster's going to move and shift and change on the fly, and you just have to be ready for whoever's in uniform that day and get them better. And that's our main focus here, is to get every guy better each day. And when the time comes to make decisions on who's going to start in Mesa and who's going to start up in Boise, we'll have a pretty good idea here very soon.
Gary, there are a couple guys that have really stood out to you that, I don't know, maybe are guys that, a little off the radar that have had a good spring, or guys that have taken that next step and are ready to get a chance to play in affiliated ball?
Well, I think a couple guys who had a little bit of taste of the Northwest League last year, Jesse Hodges, and he's one guy I know that has really put in his time and has worked very hard, and is looking forward to an opportunity to start the season in Boise, and he's put himself in a position where that should happen. But he's done a great job, and Kevin Brown, who came up for the one series when we were in Vancouver for the regular season. Tell you what, this kid's been impressive just in terms of his work ethic, his approach, and a left-handed bat that can play the outfield, working him in the infield a little bit. But I know he's ready to join us at the beginning of the season, and I think is worthy of getting a chance to do that. So those are a couple guys that some Hawks fans might be familiar with their names at least a little bit, with them on the roster last year at a couple different times. There's two young players. I don't know if they're quite ready yet, but Graybar Torres, who was one of our international signs last year, 17-year-old shortstop, very exciting player. You look at Penny, who we had last year playing short, who was the best defensive shortstop in the league last year. Graybar is one of those guys as well, and Boise can expect to see him sometime in the future. But again, with him only being 17, he's an exciting young player that we're happy to have in our organization. And Eloy Yemenet, he's got a lot of projection, a lot of upside, and also a very young player. So those are a couple young guys that have been very impressive. And, eventually, hopefully we'll make a stop in Boise in their young career. And, those are some position players that have stood out. And we've got some pitchers, that are in camp that, of course, had some time with us last year. And being a pitcher, you really got to just take it one day at a time because you never know what's going to happen. But, we've got some guys down here that I think will have a chance to spend some time in Boise this year, and then we may have a couple familiar faces. It always seems on the Boise roster we've got a couple returners, which, helps, I think, me as a manager, having some guys in that locker room who understand, how I manage a team and how the locker rooms run, and I think there'll be a couple guys that will get, maybe a return trip to Boise, and hopefully we'll keep that trip short so we can move them on to bigger and better things.
You ready to get back home?
I am, yeah, but definitely enjoying, the last part of extended spring and getting a chance to work with some of these kids up close and personal that I worked with in spring training. And, already I've seen some, progress from some of them. Rashad Crawford's another young player, an outfielder who's just been a pleasure to work with, and to see the strides that he's made just in the last month and a half is very exciting. So, always good to come back home, and I know it'll be here before we know it, but it's an exciting time to get ready, and we can smell the season here shortly, and it'll be a lot of fun.
2 weeks from Friday, my friend, we'll be getting after it. Gary, have fun down in Mesa. We'll see you when you come back to town.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.